Hey, we're actually back on a Wednesday night with another episode of Staying Up with Pat and Jodi. And of course, we have another very special guest here, all the way from 1982 and Magnum PI. It is, I think, Magnum PI. It could be under there.
That's going the wrong way.
It could be Magnum PI. She's not good at that's upside down, but that's okay.
It's all right.
He's an inverted high roller.
He's a high roller.
He's a high roller.
So, ladies and gentlemen, don't adjust your screen. It is another episode of Staying Up with Pat and Jodi, the masked guest episode.
That's right.
And tonight, we bring to you all the way from the jungles of dark, deepest Africa. It's the ape.
I don't even know what the hell that was.
It was my Vince McMahon impersonation. We are going ape over here tonight.
Holy smokes.
We're bananas. We're bananas and I'm going
bananas.
ape.
And we have Jodi Lynn already.
Oh, Jodi Lynn, what's up? We're going ape tonight. Jodi Lynn, do you have any idea who our masked guest is? You know, tonight the masked singer is on. And tonight, it is the masked guest.
That's right.
And we have the ape with us tonight.
The ape.
The ape, and he's going bananas. And he's helped us. Pat's laughing. I have a captain's hat on, as I have no reason why. I'll tell. The reason why that's a little feather.
That's a feather. Yeah, you don't have to kill it.
The reason why I have a captain's hat on is because I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. I bet you didn't know this, ape. I've been watching a lot of YouTube.
Don't slip. Don't slip.
I wasn't going to call the ape his real name.
Okay.
I was just like looking at this part of the ape.
It's coming apart.
Yeah, I was thinking
that ape mask has been around a while. So,
by the way, just so you know, the ape mask has been sanitized before you put it on.
Yes.
Last night we Lysoled it out. So if you start passing out, it's because Pat sprayed it. Oh my God. This is so goofy. The people watching this have really think we've gone bananas over this. Stop.
We've gone bananas.
Not my twin. She said my twin.
Your
Not
twin.
my twin. Hey, listen, I know I'm due for a wax, but seriously, I got some waxing I need to have done here, but, you know, I think...
I'm still a little furry.
Yeah, you are. You're still a little furry, but you're nowhere near as great
as our guest.
as
That's
the
right.
ape. But what was it? Oh, so the reason why I'm wearing a captain's hat is because I've been up late night watching a lot of yacht videos.
Yacht videos.
On my bucket list is I want to spend a week on a yacht.
After a day, you'll be like, give me land.
No, I want to stay 1 week on a yacht. I want a captain. And I want to be wearing nothing but a bathing suit. And I want Daniel Craig to rub suntan lotion all over my body.
Are you sure you don't want Drew?
Oh, I'll take that too.
Drew.
I already told Pat that I wouldn't even know what to do. If I saw a man with a body like Drew McIntyre, I wouldn't even know what to do. I wouldn't even know where to touch first. I don't know if I'd go up or down or around the back. I have no, if I go for the arms, would I go for the face? Would I go right for the crotch? Probably not. Oh my gosh. If you don't know who Drew McIntyre is, Pat will.
We've posted up images of him before. I think they got
I wouldn't know where to look first. I'm telling you, Ape. I would be going bananas.
You would be good. There's a lot of banana jokes that are going to be going on today.
I know, because I don't know anything else. Drew always. Oh, hey now. We've got a Drew McIntyre fan in the house.
That's right. Well, yeah, anybody who's seen him, I think probably.
Anybody female.
Female and 10% of males, approximately.
10%.
That's just going statistically. I'm thinking that's about 10%. Yeah. So it is also our very special birthday episode because both of us are having birthdays here fairly soon. Both of us are turning 29. We were born 8 days apart.
I will have to hurt
about
anybody who says that my age. They will be banned from the kingdom.
Banned from the kingdom. It was in the late 90s. As our birthdays, right? Something like that.
Something like that.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
So long as it's over 21 and under 30.
Yeah.
5.
Here you go, Jodi.
Drew McIntyre is hot.
Yes.
There you go. I'm telling you, lass. He's a hottie, eh?
I'm telling you, lass.
Oh my gosh. So, and it's Pat's birthday tomorrow, everybody.
Mañana.
Yes. So happy birthday, Pat.
See.
I have special glasses just for Pat tonight. And the masked guest. Oh, I got my captain's
You
hat.
can't wear the glasses and the hat at the same time properly, apparently.
Sure I can.
Sure you can.
Sure I can. There we go. So it's Pat's birthday, and I'm having Pat. I decided today that I'm going to throw and Gorilla's going to make an appearance. We're
That's
going to
right.
have the ape. Actually, you call you the ape. They're not the
ape.
gorilla. You're the ape.
You're the
This is the
ape.
masked singer. The masked. It's the ape. We're going to give you clues as to who the ape could be. But my birthday party is going to be a virtual birthday party, and everybody is invited. I will be DJing my own party.
Wiki.
And we're all going to dress up as our favorite
80s
WWE wrestling.
WWE.
No, we can dress up as an 80s person.
Yeah.
Your favorite 80s character?
Yeah.
Okay. For my birthday party? My cyber
Sure.
birthday party? Okay.
Cyber birthday, yeah.
Cyber birthday. Cyber birthday.
Our favorite 80s character. And maybe we do one more subtle. Well, no, subtle. It may not be as fun. Yeah, because then most people won't figure out who the hell you are.
What do you mean, me?
You know, no, if you did like a subtle, like one where they'd have to figure out because of a certain shirt, to say, for instance, or a certain ring. We got to see the ring.
Show the ring.
Lift
to
it
the
up a little
camera.
bit. Uh-huh.
You
Does
see
that
the
give you a
ring,
clue?
guys? Does that give you a clue as
See?
to who this could be? If you think you have an idea of who this person could be from Hawaii, am I allowed to say Hawaii?
Yeah.
That's a clue. Hawaii.
In Hawaii.
Blue blood. With the blue blood going through his veins. And it ain't no story. We're not telling any stories. Pat, am I giving too much away?
I don't know. I don't even know who you're talking about.
Okay. Anyway. All right. So what do you got for us, Pat? What's up today?
What's up today?
So today we're going to talk about Pat's birthday. But we already talked about that. But I want to seriously take it on a serious note about who are the people getting infected, Ape, with COVID right now. There are people. Who are these people?
The record numbers that are the numbers are going up and incrementally. I mean, are just they're exploding apparently, according to the news. But we still seem to have room in the hospitals. But they're saying some hospitals are getting to capacity. But which
what
one?
hospitals? You mean here in Vegas?
I don't know because our neighbor is a resident over at one of the big hospitals, and he said they have plenty of room.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks
though.
ago. So maybe that's changed in 2 weeks.
Sorry, Pat.
Now you're watching our show in the past. You're going back in time.
Yeah, I my motto is to go forward, not to go back. But who are these people? I'm going to take these off now because it's really.
Who are these people?
And this is your opportunity, Pat. If you want to, you can put back the chat feature so we can see if anybody's wanting to say anything about this. But who are the people, Ape, that are getting COVID right now? I mean, seriously, I don't understand what's going on and how people are getting it. You know. I don't understand.
Well, that's one thing we're not hearing. Are these frontline workers? Are these people working in supermarkets? Are these Costco? Are these, who is it that's getting it? Hold on. They're not.
They're not wearing their masks.
They're not wearing their masks. That's right. Good job.
The Ape came up with a good one tonight. Now, Pat has a mask. And I'm obviously the one who's going to spread it. So there we go. I'll be the...
Now, I'm going to do the rest of the show with my mask on.
Please don't do it. Is that Cheshire Cat?
Cheshire Cat.
Cheshire Cat?
Cheshire Cat or Cheshire.
Cheshire Cat?
Cheshire Cat.
Cheshire Cat?
Or
Cheshire Cat? What is it? I don't know. Anyway, getting back to our point here. How are people catching it? Because I know that when I go into a store, I have to always mask up. If I'm going into a restaurant, I have to mask up. I don't understand. I just don't understand how these people are catching it. Even
in these numbers, and in the way the numbers are going up so much, there has to be a big change in how people are acting and what they're doing in order for all of a sudden the numbers to be 4 times, 5 times as high as they were a couple months ago or a month ago.
Yeah,
So what are
just,
people doing that differently that it's going up that much?
And everybody said, oh, after the election, the truth will come out. The truth will set you free. Well, after the election, the numbers are higher than ever. Like, I just don't, again, people help me out. Every place that we go to, we're wearing them. I don't know any place. I was in Texas for 2 weeks ago, and we were wearing them. I just don't, I can understand how El Paso, Texas could be such a hot spot right now because, El Paso has a lot of Mexican people that, maybe don't understand how important it is to wear a mask.
Well, it's a border town, so there's a lot of, or border area town, so there are issues, because there's going to be issues there. But I think even in those areas, they understand the importance of it. But they may not have it's a cultural thing too. If you look at, being Hispanic, I can tell you Hispanics like to gather. They love to hug and kiss and do all that, and it's just a cultural thing. And a lot of other cultures are like that. You cannot simply tell them to stop being who they are. So there's going to be all of that touching each other, and hugging and being around each other and the social aspects to it. That's going to be, I think, to me, that's going to be in certain communities where that's going to be an issue. Because let's face it, where we're going day to day, we're not seeing people not complying, if you know what I mean. We're seeing, for the most part, everybody complying and doing what they're supposed to do.
But I can tell you, I was at the airport in Vegas. I was in the airport in Texas, in Dallas. And everybody on the plane, including the ape, we were all masked up. We were very much masked up. And the ape has done some traveling, correct? You've traveled. So there's another hint as to who this could be. The ape has traveled, to Illinois. Is it Illinois? Indiana, right? Nod once, Indiana. Okay, there you go. Another clue. Indiana. But on your plane flights, everybody's masked up, correct? And they're pretty strict about it too. See? So I don't understand. I just don't understand. Please help me understand. I don't know. I just don't know how the numbers could be jumping up so high.
Well, when you look to the number of tests that are happening are going up incrementally as well. The amount of testing has gone up quite a bit.
Yeah, we were tested today.
And if you look at the test site that we went to, there was hundreds of people there.
Yes.
So whereas when we got tested the first time, we were in a drive-through and we were in and out in minutes.
Yes.
And it was the same thing. You had to make an appointment.
Yep.
So there's way more people getting tested now. And I think part of it's out of fear, because if you watch the news, you think the world's coming to an end. And so
and lockdowns are on their way, and I was wrong again, Pat. I said to you back in April or May, maybe even in June, I said our birthdays are coming up in November.
This will be all done by then.
This will all be done by then, and let's go to New Orleans and celebrate and have some Cafe Du Monde.
Would have loved to have done that.
Well, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
And I even said I didn't even want to celebrate my birthday this year. I'm like, fuck it.
But you're going to play music on your birthday. You're going to have fun.
I'm going to have a cyber birthday party where I will probably be the only person there.
No, you won't.
All right, you'll be there.
I'll be there.
And the gorilla.
And the gorilla will be there.
The ape. I'm sorry.
Ape.
Don't mean to call you a gorilla.
Well, yeah, it would be. That is a gorilla mask, actually.
Well, I'm calling him the ape because on The Masked Singer, it sounds better as the ape.
The ape.
The ape. Vince McMahon would say the ape. And the ape has also brought a few stories. So, all right, enough about the COVID stuff. I don't know. Are we going to get locked down? God, I hope not. This is just horrible. This Thanksgiving this just absolutely sucks.
Well, and I think the thing too is that does it even really make sense to lock down? One, they know that lockdowns don't work. That when they looked at New York, 66% of the people that were new cases were people that stayed at home. So that means that the likelihood of catching it didn't really change your odds enough to destroy the economy. And now there's no stimulus money. There's nothing to help compensate. Yeah. There's no mandates that they can kick you out and put you out on the street and everything else. So they really have to be careful this time, and especially since there's a vaccine. There's two vaccines.
Yes, that's
looming
the good news.
before the end of the year. that, they're talking about 20 million doses that'll be available before the end of the year. And it's going to be all the really high-risk people, which are frontline workers. And
old people.
And old people is in the second phase.
Right.
But frontline workers is first. That's going to be all your doctors, nurses, emergency workers, all that people who are out in public, which is important. You hit them first, then you hit the people that are most vulnerable. So those are the ones where most of the deaths are coming from anyway, the serious illnesses. So let's hit that first. So we know that that's on its way. So, to destroy people further by shutting everything down to me would just be ridiculous.
Yeah, and I feel sorry for the restaurant people. They're already taking a hit. But, I feel sorry for the restaurant people, but look at our industry. Everybody should feel sorry for our industry, the restaurant people. But everybody's suffering. Everybody's hurting. It's definitely not going to be a great Thanksgiving. But, Pat, we've always celebrated Thanksgiving, just you and I. We
rarely do big stuff anymore,
Even the ape, who we've been friends with for years, we've known the ape for many years, we usually just do our own thing on Thanksgiving. We always have. It's usually like the day before Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving that we usually all get together.
You know why? Because he's always monkeying around on Thanksgiving.
That's right. Ain't that the truth? Good one, Pat.
Hey, keep it corny.
Keep it going.
Keep it corny.
And
keep it corny.
Speaking of corny, no. But anyway, Harvey Weinstein, everybody, our favorite prisoner, has gotten COVID-19.
Oh, no. Now, I could see how he got it.
How did he get it?
Well, he was in prison with a bunch of other men, in close quarters, and maybe, he was somebody's girlfriend,
Somebody's bitch.
That's right. Although, I don't know, even in jail, they might just go, nah, dude, you're all right. We ain't going to mess with you because there's nothing really exciting going on there. Even to think about it, he's probably in lockdown. He's probably separate from the rest of the...
Yeah, so Harvey Weinstein's got it. But if you're going to stay home for the holidays, look what we just found out.
Oh, that's right. That there was this big uproar because, after how many years? What was it? 60 years or something like that.
Really?
Every year. It's been like it since it's been close to 60 years, I think. Don't quote me. I'd have to look at the article. But a Charlie Brown Christmas was not going to air on broadcast television. They were only going to do it. They're only going to put it on their streaming services, and people were pissed. This is a tradition that goes back to, before we were born, I believe, or close to it.
Yeah, I'm not a big Charlie Brown fan. I don't know about the ape. Oh, well, excuse me.
Hey,
I think he's about to go ape on me over here. I was never a big Charlie Brown fan. I don't know. I liked, what I liked? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That's a show. Okay.
So it was... So the Peanuts characters, it was 1965. It's the Great Pumpkin. Charlie Brown debuted. So that was when Charlie Brown Christmas and that all started, was back in the mid 60s. So that's been around for a long time now. So, it's been a tradition with multiple generations. And Showgirl, yeah, he's definitely a Showgirl.
I'm giving you hints as to who the Masked Singer is.
And they may not all be correct. So,
High Roller. Right here.
So we do know that you are going, it's not just going to be on Apple TV, you're actually going to be able to watch it on broadcast television, because I think enough people were pissed. They're like, hey, what are you doing? This is a tradition. And we're all staying home complying. So.
Yes, exactly. We're all going to stay home. You know what I'm looking forward to? You know what I'm looking forward to every Thanksgiving? I look forward to spending Thanksgiving with the family.
Really?
The Corleones.
Okay, you set me up on that one. Yes,
I was ready for you to get. We watch it every Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving is, and I will say it is, Godfather and James Bond marathon weekends.
Yes.
This is what it is.
Yes.
You bounce back and forth between the two.
And then they always they're showing a lot of Star Wars and Indiana Jones.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
My Thanksgiving is with Michael Corleone and the Corleones. That is how I spend every Thanksgiving. AMC shows The Godfather.
Yes, and they'll actually show all three of them this time, I think. And I actually enjoy. You know what I actually enjoy is when they do it, and some people don't like it.
Cut?
The one where they play it all, they do it all in a chronological order. They re-edited.
Yeah.
And what's interesting when you watch it that way, and it's just because is it as good as the originals? Well, the storytelling is different, but it puts things more into perspective, and you start going, oh, yeah, that's what that meant. A lot of things started to click.
Yes.
Because they also added footage that they took out of the original movies. So it was kind of cool, and it actually helped tell the story a little better.
You find out like how Vito met, Abe Vigoda. Fish.
Yes, Fish.
We call him Fish. I don't know.
Fish.
Right? You remember Fish?
You remember Fish?
Yeah, Fish. The masked guest remembers Fish. Abe Vigoda. They talk about the relationship with him and Fat Clemenza. Don't forget the cannolis.
Don't forget the cannolis. Yeah, leave the gun.
Leave the gun.
Don't forget the cannolis.
Yeah, no, the wife says, don't forget the cannolis when they're pulling out of the driveway.
And then he says, leave the gun, take the cannolis.
Yeah,
yes.
grab the cannolis or take the cannolis. Yeah. Exactly. And then, when they get the wife's husband, what was his name? Not Paulie, but the wife's husband, Connie's husband. That set up Sonny.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh, why am I having a brain fart? But the guy
who
gets beat up.
About,
James Caan beats him up in the street.
Yeah.
Connie's husband, I know you were the one who set up,
Set up Sonny, and then they basically choke him out in the back.
And when they kill the 5 families, the heads of the 5 families, there's nothing better than that. That's like Thanksgiving.
It's a great, it really is a great trilogy.
Yeah, it is. It really was, except for Godfather 3. So what do you have for us?
So I have something that we're going to go to the future now instead of going to the past, because this is a story that the ape found for us, because the ape is very good on internet searches.
And he's going to be. And that's another hint.
It's another hint. It's very good.
The ape
and
could
so a UW professor proposes developing sex robots for older disabled adults. So these creepy ones that we saw at CES and those the realistic ones. Now they're talking about making sex robots for older people, and it says hold on a second, I got to read this. This is from November 20.
Sex robots for old people. Old people don't even like the internet. They're gonna stick a doll on their Johnson.
Hey, look, it's better. Look.
You're gonna put a doll on your junk?
Those retirement homes are just a bastion of sexually transmitted diseases.
Yes, I did.
Because they're unprotected and they're spreading that stuff, and it's like they're having to get penicillin shots and everything else.
Well, they can't get knocked up. They're dry.
No, so they're like
dry. But they're dust mold.
They just grab. They need some lube. They grab some butter. They're off and running. It's like a turkey roast in there.
Oh my God, they're going bananas.
So now you can get So now you can give these old guys. You can get them a robot, a sex robot.
This is your story.
That's right. It says an elderly resident looks to a robot called Pepper. Like Pepper Potts from Iron Man.
About a little pepper. Leave me a little pepper. Come on, little pepper, a little pepper. Isn't that what they say? Come on, little pepper.
Right. Little pepper, little pepper.
Little bingo.
This was at a presentation at a senior care facility in Frankfurt, Germany. Of course, the Germans are the ones that are going to come up with this stuff.
Wasn't that? No.
They like the poop porn.
Oh, like your friend.
Yeah, poop porn.
Your friend loves like nuns dressed in. Yeah, your friend.
But of course, it's the Japanese robots are able to recognize people and are programmed to interact with them. So apparently, this is something where you can actually have a robot girlfriend and, no sexually transmitted diseases. She's ready to go, or he's ready to go, depending on who you are, whenever you want. Come on. It's not going to make fun of you. Yeah, dude, hello, my name is Dude.
Do we have to rush into this?
So
I get a clue.
Get a clue. A clue. Rush. Your clues are like all over the place, but that's okay.
No, somebody would get it.
So that's something we have to look forward to, thanks to the Germans and the Japanese. They've gotten together, and we're going to have sex robots for old people here coming real soon.
Wow.
Maybe by the time we get a vaccine, we'll also get
Pepper
the blowjob robot.
I'll never be able to put pepper on food again after hearing this story.
Hey, Pepper, why don't you come down and take a look at my pecker?
Does this robot have a pecker?
I guess if you order it with one,
lose people right now.
You say you got to order a pecker on one. It's either a pecker or the other thing.
Oh, the other thing. What's the other thing?
I'll let you figure that one out. If you don't know what the other thing is,
Other thing.
Yes.
What's it like? All right, forget it. I got a joke for you.
Uh-oh, here comes the jokes.
I got a joke. Speaking of Pepper, I told you this one earlier. It's my wife's birthday soon, and she's been leaving jewelry catalogs all over the house.
Uh-oh.
She'll be happy to know I got the hint. I got her a magazine.
Yay!
Oh, I got a good one. It gets better. It gets better. While carpenters were working outside the old house I just bought, I buried myself with indoor cleaning. I just finished washing the floor when one of the workmen asked to use the bathroom. With dismay, I looked from his muddy boots to my newly scrubbed floors. Just a minute, I said, thinking of a quick solution. I'll put down some newspapers for you. That's all right, lady, he responded. I'm already trained.
Wow, you just stepped all over the punchline on that one. You just stepped all over the punchline. You cannot laugh during the punchline.
That's hysterical.
You cannot laugh during the punchline. That's not good.
I like to do.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
I suck as a comedian. Oh
Because
my
you
God.
crack yourself up and then we don't even get the last quarter of the joke because you're laughing over
I
it.
didn't see that joke until just now.
That is true. She does just read them live.
Oh my
That's
God.
why they're delivered so well.
Come on. I heard our next door neighbors watch last week Staying Up with Pat and Jodi.
Yeah.
And when they heard me telling the jokes, they were hysterical laughing. I heard them from over the fence. Come on.
Because they found out what a rusty trombone was for the first time.
Oh my gosh! And speaking of rusty trombones, it's a very we have a very special anniversary.
That's right. The 42nd anniversary
Of.
Well, should we give them hints first?
All right. In 1978, you want to give them a hint? You got a drink there.
It wasn't that type of drink though, but it was a
Does
drink.
anybody who's watching Staying Up with Jodi know? I'm going to Arizona. Okay.
So
Jodi's
Staying Up
going.
with Pat and Jodi, by the way.
Oh.
So he's going to take a drink of his soda, but it wasn't quite soda. It was more of a punch, a Kool-Aid. Don't drink the Kool-Aid comes from this event. So if you remember what happened, this is 1978. Okay, so you don't even have to have been alive. This is part of history, so chill out. But this is did not happen here in the United States. And he's drinking.
Yeah.
But we don't know if he's drinking or he's snorting. You can't tell with the mask.
Oh my.
And it is Coke.
And I am
So
sitting next to an ape.
that's
Okay.
right. Which one?
Both. I feel like I'm in a banana split.
Hey! Oh!
No, I didn't laugh at that
I'm
one.
here all week, folks.
Try the veal.
Try the veal.
Oh my God. Anyway, give them a hint. So what happened?
It was in Guyana was where it happened.
I can't believe today is, and this is serious.
42nd
we should be
anniversary.
laughing
I
about
know.
this, but it's
Too
serious.
soon?
42 years later. Is it too soon? Too soon, he says. 42.
Too soon?
It's Jim Jones. Reverend Jim Jones got a bunch of people, a bunch of followers to go to Guyana, Africa.
And he'd been taking them. He had these compounds that he'd built all over the United States. He was a con man, and he was one of those religious con man that got all these people to believe that he had all these special powers, and the government kept going after him because he kept pulling. And finally, he had to leave the U.S. Well, when everything was coming down on him and pretty much it was over, he basically ordered his people to kill everybody by poisoning their punch and making sure that they all drank it, and it was brutal.
Yeah.
You have to, if you got to watch the documentary. There's a
On
documentary on
CNN.
this.
CNN had a really good
CNN had a great documentary. If you've never heard of this before, if you're too young, just shows you how crazy some people could be and how these cult leaders, how dangerous they are. And we don't have to get too much into everything he did, but he was nuts.
Yeah, he was nuts.
It all came down. The congressman was killed, and his aide was shot, and
It was terrible.
and there was, I forget how many people were actually killed that day, including children, by the way. So this guy was completely crazy.
Yeah.
But you have to watch the documentary on him because he was an absolute nut, and you wonder how even back then how somebody got away with it.
Well, even to this day, I mean, if you think about it, just recently there was a cult leader in the newspaper, that Catherine Oxenberg, remember her from Dynasty, Abe? Catherine Oxenberg, she played the princess.
Oh, yeah.
And she, her daughter got caught up in a cult.
Yes.
And they branded the women
Uh-huh.
and everything. It was crazy. And what was that? That wasn't a real That wasn't real though. Cobra was not Cobra. What was the Rambo? Was it Rambo? Rambo 3, Rambo 4? Whereas the daughter, the granddaughter,
goes
down to Mexico.
Yeah, well, then she gets kidnapped and taken to. That actually does happen, by the way. They do actually kidnap people and sell them into slavery. That does actually happen.
That happened to Pam Dauber from Mork and Mindy, who you remember. Yep. And Pam Dauber, Mork and Mindy, before she became Mindy from Mork and Mindy, had a girlfriend, and they went down to Tijuana. Because I guess if you live in California, a lot of people, you know.
In San Diego,
you drive down to Tijuana.
Hop over the border,
and the little
cheap
kids
beers.
sell chiclets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Chiclet. Did you ever go to Tijuana? Oh, wow. Okay, very cool. Yeah, they sell these. And I remember dating an ex-boyfriend, and he took me down there, and he said he never was a hand holder. Well, he was, but not a lot. And he's like, do not, because I have a tendency to wander off and see shiny things. Like,
really?
Squirrel. Where?
Really?
So, yeah.
I never noticed that.
Squirrel. And he said, do not go anywhere without me. You got to hold my hand the entire time we're here, because he said that really does happen.
Yeah, it can be quite dangerous.
So cults are a bad thing, man.
Yeah, so
cults are a bad thing. So
look it up if you never heard of Jim Jones.
Kids.
You never heard of Jim Jones? Look it up. It's pretty wild.
I just want to be on my yacht. That's why I've got my captain's hat. I'm ready. I'm ready for the yacht. I'm ready to go.
And going into the future again, we're talking about how much we love China. You know, with all the coronavirus that they gave to all of us. They're also pulling some more shenanigans. Apparently, China forced Indians, meaning from India, by the way, to retreat by using a secret microwave pulse weapon. Yes, I will say that again. They used a secret microwave pulse weapon. So now, not only are they killing us with COVID, they're also killing us with microwave weapons. And
wow.
They did it with the Indians. And you know, India is probably the next, I believe is the next populous continent next to China. So, and I don't think they really like each other. So it's kind of scary, the stuff that they're pulling over there. So if you look that up.
But yet we still buy shit that's made in China.
I don't understand
it.
I don't know why the whole world hasn't said, you know what, F you, China. We're going to get our stuff elsewhere, you know, but they still keep doing it. People are addicted to cheap shit.
Is that why? I guess a lot of the Dollar Tree stuff be probably China? Yeah.
Probably.
Wow.
You know, the cheap trinkets and stuff like that. And there's a lot of big companies that manufacture. iPhones are made in China.
Oh, wow.
You know, that's the things. There's a lot of high end stuff that's made in China, and it's set to a certain standard. The thing is that when you make something in China, they say, "Hey, I like how you did this. We're going to copy it," and there ain't shit you can do about it. That's basically how they deal with intellectual property and copyrights and trademarks and stuff.
Wow.
They just basically take your stuff and copy it and make it worse, basically.
Wow.
Cheaper but worse.
Yeah. Wow. I don't get it. I like I said, I can't believe we're 8 months into this COVID shit. I can't believe that Thanksgiving the government is telling people that they can't, be around your loved ones on Thanksgiving. I mean, not that we're ever with anybody. I mean, we prefer to be alone on the holidays, to be honest with you. Because I guess we're always around people so much.
And we're all generally, except for this year, we're always working. So it's nice sort of a way to get away and just chill.
Right.
That's our sort of... Because we haven't done a big Thanksgiving dinner in a long time.
Yeah, since we went to California, we rented. We were at the Residence Inn.
Yeah, and that was oh boy,
many years. I wouldn't do that again.
At least 15 years ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that again.
Yeah, 8.5 hour drive home.
Oh my God! Remember, because we had to go do a wedding.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, that was really rough. Well, is there anything else that you guys got for tonight? Did we still identify who the masked guest could be, Pat? Are you gonna? Before I tell another joke, because I got one more joke. I got a good one, and I might not crack up on this one because I already told it to you, so I know where it's going.
Okay, go ahead. Because what's going to happen is at the very end of the show, there's going to be a little clue that's going to pop up after we go off. So just telling.
All right, everybody. So once again, I'm going to tell. Because you guys want it. You love my jokes. I got another one. Okay. A new Mercedes owner was out on the interstate for a nice evening drive. The top was down. The breeze was blowing through what was left of his hair. And he decided to open her up. As the needle jumped to an 80 miles per hour, he suddenly saw flashing red and blue lights behind him. He said, there ain't no way they can catch a Mercedes, he thought to himself, and he opened her up further. The needle hit 90, 100, 110, and finally 120, with the lights still behind him. What in the world am I doing, he thought, and just pulled over. The cop came up to him, took his license without a word, and examined it and the car. I've had a rough shift, and this is my last pullover. I don't feel like more paperwork, so if you can give me an excuse for driving that I haven't heard before, you can go. Last week, my wife ran off with a cop, the man said, and I was afraid. Oh my God, I'm sorry. And I was afraid you were trying to give her back. Sorry, I kind of ruined that one.
You ruined that punchline fight.
I know, I ruined it because I'm like, yeah. So last week, my wife ran off with a cop, the man said, and I thought you were giving her back.
So on a similar note, this is another story that the ape looked up, and it was apparently in medieval times that, back then you couldn't divorce your husband. That just didn't happen. The only way you divorced him is if he chopped off your head and then he was divorced. And that's how they did it. But there was one exception. If you could prove that your husband was impotent, then you could get a divorce. In other words, if he couldn't get the job done. So how do you do this? How do you figure this out? They'd actually go into court, and they had penis investigators. So this is a legal proceeding in medieval times. Of course, the ape would figure something like this out, where they would have a penis investigator figure out whether or not your peccata's working or not.
He's bananas, folks.
He's bananas. That's right.
He's bananas.
He's kind of nuts.
The pecker checker.
The pecker checker. So apparently in medieval times, the only way you got divorced is you had to bring somebody in to prove that your husband's pecker wasn't working.
How would you do that?
Well, we'll talk about that on the next episode
of Staying Up with Pat and Jodi.
Yes, we'll get more deep into that process.
I hope people are good and drunk when they're watching this episode.
If not, we should probably suggest on the replay, start drinking right at the beginning.
Yeah, because don't adjust your sets, folks.
We'll get way funnier.
There is a gorilla or an ape, a man wearing a Christmas cowboy hat, and the captain of...
So what we should type in the watch party that we do later is that when you're watching this, you have to take a drink every time you hear the word ape. And that by this point in the show, we are friggin' hilarious.
I need a Magnum. That's what I'm just telling you.
That's all I got to say.
I got to say that. A local priest and pastor were fishing on the side of a road. They thoughtfully made a sign. The end is near. Turn yourself around before it's too late, and showed it to each passing car. One driver who drove by didn't appreciate the sign and shouted at them, "Leave us alone, you religious nuts." All of a sudden, they heard a big splash, looked at each other, and the priest said to the pastor, "You think maybe we should have just said bridge out instead?" There you go.
Well, on that note...
everybody, let's wish Pat a very happy
birthday. We're not going to say which one. Let's just say it's progressed to a point that we don't actually talk about the actual age. The number, yes. So, and of course, another clue as to who our character is here, who our person next to us, our ape man is sitting next to us, will appear very briefly at the end of the show. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
You know what's so funny?
Stick to the end, and you'll get a clue.
I have to cough, and it's not a COVID cough.
There you go.
Sorry. I didn't cough on you and not
the
ape.
Yeah, exactly, the ape. Don't get the ape sick, yes.
I'm not sick. I just had a cough.
Yeah, I got the cough.
My God, if you cough or sneeze
you can't do that at all.
Oh, my God. If you cough, sneeze, people look at you. They run in fear.
So next week will be our pre-Thanksgiving show.
Yes.
So we can talk turkey.
Maybe we'll have a turkey as a guest.
A turkey, that's right. You'd never know. Yeah. You never know.
We'll be talking turkey next week, everybody. So have a great rest of your week. Be positive and...
Test negative. Oh!